Should I be standing on a desk with my socks on and paper on the table? Probably not. Is this the only way I can comfortably reach the top of my wall? Yes, it is. So, listen, I have been told to get a ladder for my apartment a million times probably. Have I done it? No. Did I want to decorate my library today? Yes, so the table it is. Hi pretty people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and usually I like to talk about books. Today I want to talk about decorating, well, with books. I decided that I want to re-catalog and reorganize my bookshelves, but then I got distracted, which is kind of a usual thing for me, and I ripped the book apart that is now lying next to me in single papers, and I started decorating my wall. I don't know if you can see it in this shot, but yes you can. So I started decorating my wall, and I want to do like pretty much the whole wall with book pages, and then maybe I'll even get to the reorganizing my bookshelf in this video. While I've been doing this, I have been listening to an audiobook. I'm currently listening to Throne of Glass. I've listened to this once as an audiobook, but it's been a while since then and I am thinking about reading the series. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've been listening to the audiobook, and so you can see I've done all the way to there, and I kind of need to phase it out here because that's where my little music corner starts. Alright, so my battery died, but I have made some progress while the camera was charging. So let me show you what the progress looks like right now. So that's where we're at. I still need to do all the way down to the bottom, behind the table, obviously. And then I've started to phase it out. I obviously need to do it more because right now it just looks odd. But I'm gonna phase the pages out like this. And then, as I said, there's my little music corner. But I think I like it so far. And then later, I'm gonna add these little drawings. Okay, so I'm done, and this is what the wall looks like. I've completed it all the way down there, and then I just started to like sprinkle it out. And I've actually used every single page. And then I went in and added my little drawings. Here's the one of Chihiro. And here's Kiki's delivery service. And then there's just a mix of different Ghibli movies. Here we have a little Corpse Bride, Tim Burton collage, and Princess Mononoke, and another Ghibli collage, and obviously not to forget little Calcifer up there. Again, this is the entire wall now. And about the bookshelf reorganizing I talked about earlier. It's pretty late already, so I think I'll be doing this tomorrow. So see you tomorrow. Alright, so it is the next day and I've added some more of like little drawings to my page wall. I guess I'll show you at the end of the video when like everything is done. And now it's time to reorganize my bookshelves. The thing is, I've kind of categorized them by genre right now, but also not really. And I don't know how to reorganize. Do I do it alphabetically? I will not do color. So I have downloaded this app. It's called Library Thing, and I saw it online that you can like scan the barcodes of every book, and then the app will do the organizing for you, and you just have to like put it on the shelf in the way the app tells you, which makes alphabetizing, for example, a lot easier. But I'm not quite sure how I want to organize. Let me show you what it looks like right now. This the first bookshelf here, which is just Harry Potter in the first shelf. Those are the hardbacks, paperbacks, all the young dudes as a printed fan fiction, and the movies. And then we have more fantasy series, and then down here we have a lot more fantasy, and a bit of dystopian obviously, but like dystopian fantasy. Then we have children's books and fairy tales, and then we have more fantasy. It's the Shadow and Bone series and the Ice and Fire series and the first book of the Wheel of the Time. And then all the way down here we just have some junk and motorcycle books. Coming to the double shelf, we're starting off with philosophy and German classics and 2 English books, lol. Then we have more German classics here, and then it's general fiction. Then we have fiction about World War II, and then we have like dark academia, and then a bit of poetry. And then over here we have games and a statue and my non-fiction. And then starting, well, here, there's this one fairy tale book that actually belongs over there, but, well, starting here with 100 Years of Solitude, we have my classic shelf, which is pretty packed. And then down here we have like crimi and thriller, and then Greek mythology and Greek retellings. That's kind of my shelf for witches. So basically these are fantasy books, but these are like Wicca. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically about spirituality and like modern witchcraft, if you can say, and like, well, as kind of a belief or a religion. And then that one little one is just books about books. And then we have my YA shelf. Then there's manga. And my romance shelf, but the thing is with my romance shelf, the Akota series is fantasy. I just put it there because, I don't know, I thought it kind of fits there because everyone says it's just spice in the end. So yeah, that's there. And then we have like just old pretty books, but they're basically all German classics. We have cookbooks. We have my biographies. And then there's a few language books and just random stuff. I don't really know what these 2 are. There's my book about the world's most famous composers. Here's my record player and the one record I own. I seriously need to get more. So as you can see, I'm just kind of all over the place right now. And I guess I will start with scanning all of my books. So we have the first problem. This philosophy book doesn't even have a barcode, so I can't scan it in the app. Let's see if I can add it later by the ISBN. And the next book that doesn't have a barcode. How do I have more than one book without a barcode? Well, I guess my old books down there won't have a barcode either, so let's see. Emptied the first 2 rows, but as you can see I have quite a lot of books that do not have a barcode on them, which is gonna be annoying later. But let's keep going. And maybe while I'm doing this, so it's not as boring for you, I can give you a reading update. So I've started rereading The Priory of the Orange Tree. I'm about 50 pages in. And it's so nice to reread this book because this is a high fantasy book that when you read it the first time, you're really just like, what the fuck is going on? Because there's so many things that you get introduced to that it's literally a new world you have to understand, and that comes with its own rules. And it's so nice to reread the book and just be like, oh yeah, I know that, and I know what that is and why we have that and what that weird new word means. So yeah, it's really nice to reread the book, and with every page I'm just getting more and more excited. Oh no. And with every page, I'm really just getting more and more excited for the sequel. So, it's good progress. We're more than 300 people and I am so excited about that, and I'm so grateful for everyone who's here and for everyone who's watching. And like, I know that's like super cliche and every YouTuber says that, but like this channel is nothing without people watching it. And when I started at the beginning of the year, I didn't even think that like a lot of people would watch my videos, and maybe if you now look at the numbers, it's not a lot of people watching the videos, but for me, more than the people I tell to watch my videos because they're my friends, that's already kind of a lot. Like, people doing this by their own free will. So, yeah, that was sappy. Thank you for watching. While I was doing the wall, I told you that I was listening to Throne of Glass, the first in the series, and I finished it. And even though I think it was a bit cringy, which, to be fair, I think of most YA books by now, because I kind of just outgrew their voices of the main characters. But yeah, I finished it, and I am thinking about like continuing to read it because a few days ago I heard that the Throne of Glass universe is actually the same as the ACOTAR one, and I want to do a reading vlog for the ACOTAR series. And I actually really enjoy to like have longer series, or even more than one series, be set in like the same universe, which also made Labor Dugo's Shadow and Bone, and then Six of Crows, and then King of Scars, Rule of Wolves, you know, all of them. It made them a lot more special to me because I just enjoy having a story set in the same universe. So I was thinking to maybe actually read the whole Throne of Glass series, or, well, listen to them as audiobooks. First two shelves are done, and that's the floor situation. And we have this one to go. By the way, I got so many questions about these on one of my reels. These are my printed versions of All the Young Dudes. And how can you get them printed? Obviously they're not sold because that would cause massive copyright issues with J.K. Rowling. So how can you get these printed? There's a few sources online. If you just Google printing All the Young Dudes, you will probably find them. So you can download the PDFs of like the first, you can just like download the PDFs of the first, the second, and the third book, so 3 books. And to each book you can also find the covers. So these covers are from someone on the internet who made them. And I just downloaded these PDF documents, and then I went to a book printing website, so you can just get your own book printed for whatever it cost. I think each of these cost me about 20 euros. I did it on ePubli, which is a German page for just printing stuff. And yeah, just to show you what you can expect if you download those PDFs on the internet. It's like super tiny font, right? It's really tiny printed, and you get 3 books, but maybe that can help some of you with all the questions I got to my All the Young Dudes books. Here's my little head filled with all my bookmarks. Oh, talking about bookmarks, I have quite a lot of creative energy lately, and yesterday I made some more new bookmarks. I just love making bookmarks myself. This is one, it's like really cute. This is another. This is my favorite of all of them. It's like a little pink dinosaur drinking tea. Isn't that so cute? We have just books as a bookmark. And then we have a bunch of little cats. This dragon, which, if you don't know, is Toothless from How to Train a Dragon. So these need to go in the head with all the other bookmarks. Okay, so this is pretty much all of my books. I have a few books in my living room, like 3 or 4. And I own a total of 316 books, which is a lot. I didn't think I had cracked the 300 yet, but I have. So now the question is how to put them back on the shelves, because this is the shelves right now. Like the little knickknacks are still in there, and like a few games and stuff, and the movies. And I think I do wanna sort by kind of the same categories I had before, but I want to change the positions and then organize by author in the genres, because I didn't do that before. I just kind of looked what looks nice next to each other. Alright, so I just noticed that all of my books are not in the correct order in this app. So that app is definitely not it. Don't download the app to sort your books, because I've tried to sort them by author and it tells me that Tolkien comes before Bardugo when I put it from A to Z, which is not correct. So forget the app, and I have to do it myself now with like sorting by author. It's been a few hours, but I've made some progress. So let me show you where I'm at right now. This is the floor situation, and this is what the bookshelves look like. I am finally done. This video took me 2 days now and I still have to edit. I hope I can upload it today because it is Friday already and I do want to upload on Fridays, but I don't know, I kind of keep messing up. I'm not good at this, so let me show you the overall picture now. So there's the door, and then you have the bookshelves that look like this right now. And then you have the wall I DIY'd with the book pages fizzling out, and then there's like my little music corner. And what I added, you already know the like anime things, but there's a little cute cow and like a pretty window, some kind of potion, and we have Coraline up here. And then this one is new too, and that's from American Horror Story. That's the wall. And for the bookshelf tour, we now have all of my German classics and philosophy up here. Then we have my little bit of poetry. Then we have all of my English classics or classics in general. That's just a few language books. Here we have my children's books and like fairy tales. And then we have general fiction, kind of mixed with contemporary fiction. There's my little motorcycle stuff and junk. And then over here we have Jumanji. And then all of my fantasy books, which are many. And then my, like all the Harry Potter books, obviously fantasy too. More fantasy. A few games I have, and then more fantasy. And more fantasy. And that's where it ends. Then we have my dystopian books, and then going over into my krimis and thrillers, which are not many. Then here we have my biographies, and this is the spirituality Wicca stuff I told you about. Here's my romance books next to my general YA books, next to my romance mangas. They're kind of a guilty pleasure. And then we have all of my non-fiction. There's non-fiction mythology and there's Greek retellings. This is my World War II fiction next to the composer's book. the 2 cookbooks I own, and the old pretty books. I left them where they are, and the books I need to get rid of. So that is my bookshelf tour. All of the books I own. It's a bit over 310, I think 311 books. And yeah, that's it for today. As always, please leave a like, subscribe, and then I will see you next time. Bye!